This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak, and today's the first day of the NFL season, and it's starting off with a bang with Antonio Brown. Now, technically, I know it's not the first day. We had the Thursday night game, but first football Sunday in the NFL is always like the most special thing. Like that Thursday night game, by the way, which was crazy to see that like wild defensive struggle. Considering that the Bears were supposed to be looking at an improvement offensively, and of course Aaron Rodgers and everything, he does. That was crazy. It also reminded us how old football is, because they literally played like they did 100 years ago offensively. Like, god damn. And it was perfect that those were the two teams to do it. Like, that was very, very perfect. Anyway, but no, first Sunday is always the best day because you get that full slate of games, all the matchups, all the, and the way that they do the schedule now, where they throw the rivalries right on top, it makes it even better nowadays. But the fireworks isn't from the anticipation. Definitely wasn't from the Bears-Packers game, and definitely isn't from the fact that this is the 100th year anniversary of the NFL. It's from Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has pretty much stole the show, so to speak. It's funny because when we saw the Raiders were picked for Hard Knocks, everybody thought that it was going to be like such a fiasco, and it turned out that Hard Knocks didn't really hold the magic that was the Oakland Raiders franchise, which has a history of just being ridiculous anyway. Everybody remembers the Al Davis days. It never stopped with his son, and it continues on with John Gruden and Mike Mayock. So Antonio Brown started off this week. We thought everything was going to be cool. Then he got into it with his general manager, Mike Mayock. Called the man a cracker. Threatened to physically harm this man. It was crazy. They had their little tiff. Mike Mayock was like, we're probably going to suspend him. And that's where things start to really pop off, because, hey, he gets suspended. He loses his almost $30 million bonus. And, that's a lot of money to leave on the table. But he'll be all right if he stays on the roster, if he's active, at least through the first week. Hey, he's going to be good. And apologies for not muting my phone, but it's like, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be able to, get paid his annual salary. No problem. And then the rumors started to come that they might cut him and he'll lose all his salary. And there was a back and forth dialogue between him and front office. Apparently, it seemed like it was about to be squashed, even though this guy had been posting all types of stuff on Instagram and all that. And he talked to Mike Mayock. They apparently came to agreement, talked to John Gruden, all of that. And then he decides to go on Instagram and put the conversation that he had with Gruden out there, and to basically make them look like the suckers that they are, because they were suckers. At the end of the day, the Oakland Raiders front office and coach are looking like the biggest suckers in the world. And Mike Tomlin and the Steelers organization, including Ben Roethlisberger, oddly enough, look like we all owe them a fucking apology for those of us who had issue with the way that they handled the Antonio Brown situation. Looking back on that, they handled it as best as they could, considering the component that they had to deal with. Oh my god. So all of this boiled down to him eventually getting released from the Oakland Raiders, into which he posts a video of himself celebrating, talking about he's free and all that shit. Then, a couple of hours later, after he gets released, he signs a 1-year, $15 million, $10 million guaranteed contract with the New England Patriots. He doesn't play this week because, of the circumstances, situations, so he can't dress for this week. But after week 1, he's a fucking New England Patriot, which may have been part design. Always what he wanted to be was to be with that organization, because there were rumors that they were on the table for a trade with Antonio Brown. A couple of in-division rivals, I think, were in the mix, possibly. There were people out there who were pegged. Even my team in Washington was one of those that was pegged for him. We got enough problems. We don't need Antonio Brown making this scene any more dramatic than it is. But yeah, crazy shit. And looking back on it, yeah, mistakes were made. After that altercation, a lot of people say they probably shouldn't have fined him. They probably just should have brought him in, had a talk, settled it right there, left it alone. But Mike Mayock kind of escalated, and I could see that point of view. By the way, I don't think Mike Mayock is a victim whatsoever. From what I get from his personality, I could see him being more than willing to be that contentious with a player. So it fits. We know John Gruden's history with players, and it's not just the Keyshawn Johnson thing, but it's just John Gruden can rub people the wrong way, and he can come off very, very phony and fake. Sorry, if you're a John Gruden fan, but yeah, there's a reason why the only time he's ever really won is because he inherited a team and won with it. He's not as great a coach as you think. And it's funny because there was a time where I would have wanted him to be a coach, and then I realized his people management skills are probably not the best. And if he would have came to Washington, that would have been horrible, because we got all the personalities and the management here. Jesus Christ. So he's fine where he is in Oakland. He needs the drama. He's a drama queen. They're drama queens. They all fit together. Him, Mike Mayock, and them. But it's just fucking wild to see that, because think about this, guys. And it's been said many times on the internet, and I'm going to repeat exactly what people have said. They traded picks to let him go to the New England Patriots. He somehow worked himself to get to arguably the best organization of all times at this point. Only them, the Steelers, and the Cowboys have as many championships, with San Francisco falling behind. But as far as a model of consistency, yeah, right now they're killing it. They're only matched probably by the Steelers and somewhat by the Cowboys. The Cowboys have fallen off here and there, but they still maintain relevancy, and they do win more often than most franchises do. Like most franchises, like the 49ers, seem to just tank and disappear and take forever to come back. But those three organizations, they never totally disappear or never fall off the map or never that far off from making something happen. But the Patriots seem to have just a magic touch right now, and now they got one of the best wide receivers in the league to go along with Josh Gordon, to go along with Julius Edelman, with Tom Brady throwing to them. You got a backfield of James White and Sony Michel. I heard Damian Harris is a nice prospect in the backfield. They have a fucking solid, scary offense. This is probably the scariest offense that we've seen for the Patriots in quite some time. If everything works out, and that's the problem. Is everything going to work out? Because what the fuck is Antonio Brown going to do? who knows what the fuck this man is going to do, where his mind is. Like, if he doesn't get what he wants, how's he going to flip out? And how's that going to work? Now, to their credit, New England is not, like, putting themselves at major risk because they only signed him for 1 year. They, you know, I'm sure they negotiated some type of clauses to yank some of that money back and everything. Yeah. Even if they just give him the $10 million guaranteed, they feel the risk is worth it because it's like, if you cut him, what do they lose? They didn't lose anything in this, except for the $10 million at the most. That's all they'll lose if he doesn't work out. They'll still have a solid team, and they'll still be a Super Bowl contender. They don't need him; he needs them more than anything. So, you know, it's a perfect situation to put someone like that to see how that will work. Do I think he's going to be there long term? No, I don't even think he's going to be there by the end of the season, to be quite honest. Because the guy is extremely volatile, extremely self-indulged, extremely moody, extremely oblivious to reality. That Instagram stuff that he was doing, he was shaping his narrative, just like he shaped the narrative with the Steelers to make it look like the Steelers were the bad guys. Now, he kind of got some corroboration because Le'Veon Bell was having issues with him, and he had problems with the organization, and he had problems with Big Ben. And the thing is, it wasn't like he wasn't pointing to things that couldn't be, you know, looked at as possibly believable, because it's the same thing with the Oakland thing. We know how Mike Mayock is as a person. We know how John Gruden is as a person. So shaping the narrative that he's the victim isn't that hard when you have components in place that are questionable, like Ben Roethlisberger, like Gruden, like Mayock. So it makes it easy. But at the end of the day, with him, it's all fucking him when you think about it. Like, this dude, I don't know what his thought process is, but it's a very selfish one. And I think that we shouldn't celebrate this thing. Like, I celebrate the Le'Veon Bell thing. I celebrate Ezekiel Elliott sitting out. I celebrate what Melvin Gordon's do, because it's like these guys are protecting themselves to make sure that they get paid what they feel that they're worth. They're not, you know, going out here burying the team. They're not acting a fool. They're not throwing out these like different narratives to try to like coerce the public, you know, perception in their favor. They're just like, yo, I want a better contract. I want a better deal. I want to get paid. If not, just release me. Let me go somewhere else. If anything, I'm saving my body for a year, and I can extend my career. Because as a running back, your career is not that long. And even when other players hold out for, you know, their money, it's fine. But when you do what he does, when you basically try to hold people hostage by acting a fool, throwing out personal business, trying to expose people and all that, no, you're being a fucking child. And that's not the way that you do that. I mean, he could have gotten out of Oakland a lot more reasonable. It could have been a more reasonable way of doing that shit. But he's not a reasonable person. He clearly isn't a reasonable or rational person. And I feel like people are going to be like trying to like, you know, lift him up like, yo, he gamed him and all that. Like, yes, I do find it hilarious that this has all happened, especially again when you consider, like I said, the people that are involved, in the organization that's involved. Like, it's like, oh shit, so that Oakland drama is still there, even though they're not going to be in Oakland no more. Kind of feels like it's karma since they're leaving Oakland to go to Las Vegas, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, I find the humor in it, but at the end of the day, I hope this isn't the way that other people choose to handle their business, because it's wrong. It's not even about being professional. It's just about being like fucking sensible as a human being, period. I mean, even if we keep it to the professional thing, think about how sad this is, that his talent is so much so that he's allowed to fucking do things like this and still maintain the ability to procure work and to get paid a large amount of money because of his talent. Nobody can do that. If you ever, we all could do that. Like, could you imagine what the world would be like? Like, if you can literally tell your boss, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, you cracker," and then give a fake apology, then fucking put out personal like conversations between you and one of your managers and all of that, and yeah, you get fired, I guess, so to speak, because that's what you want, so you can go someplace else and have a better opportunity. It's not like he got fired, because he didn't want to. He did this purposely to get what he wants and to move where he wants to, and that's fucking batshit insane. Yeah, it's amazing. That's what talent will do, though, all the time. Definitely. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. It's your boy Blak, making some out. Deuces.